Hello and welcome. In today's episode, we go back in time to the 70s, when American muscle cars ruled the roads. But first, we travel abroad and see what they were driving in the 70s down under. It's the 1972 Ford Falcon XA GT HO. The Falcon is effortlessly cool. You have to admire the Australian car industry. The basic blueprint that ruled the American roads of the 70s is present here in the Falcon. Endless stretches of blacktop over which a polar bear killing 410 horsepower, 5.8-liter V8 provides the soundtrack. And behind me, rear-wheel drive. As a Canadian, Aussie cars don't often find their way here. Sometimes we get something neat, the Holden Monaro and Commodore rebadged and rebranded as the Pontiac GTO and Chevrolet SS, respectively. So when I do find myself behind the wheel of what, for me, is something of a unicorn, I do get a genuine fizz. This particular example is a sedan, which I quite like. I'm always a fan of a powerful sedan. They're understated. I like knowing in the event some punk slinks his mom's '98 Civic with a fart can hastily bolted to the muffler in auto shop class next to me at the red, I've got the power to teach him a lesson about respecting his elders. My friends, the 1969 Chevrolet Nova SS. This here is one death-proof automobile. Under the hood is a 396 cubic inch V8 producing 375 horsepower and 415 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 is covered in just over 6 seconds and will carry on accelerating up to, eventually, 148 miles per hour. You don't really drive American muscle cars so much as you grow an extension of metal from your fingertips. The car understeers like an aircraft carrier, and the rear suspension, pulled from a wheelie bin, virtually guarantees that once you lose grip, you won't get it back. The only piece of equipment responsible for doing everything, really, is what's up front. And it is precisely that bit of metal that prevents me from frowning. It is nothing short of childish joy being at the helm of the Nova. You step on the accelerator and it makes all the right noises. The bassy burble, rising in power, building to the symphony of a perfectly tuned earthquake. And through every corner, power sliding. Things really were better in our parents' days. But as a car for the track, we certainly have work to do. Mostly, I plan to address the understeer. We need better suspension and more grip. With the Nova now in the shop, we once again cross the ocean for more speed from the 70s. What can I say? It's a Skyline GTR. This is Genesis for most of us. When we think tuners, JDM, sports cars, handling, power, we think of the Skyline. Probably one of its children from the 90s, but in 1973, the 2000 GTR is the sort of thing they were driving in Japan. This is Darth Vader to their Luke Skywalker. And it is beautiful. It's interesting. There is more sophistication in the driving experience. Like any sports car from the 70s, it is quite easy to get the back end out. But it's not quite the same thing. It doesn't have the immense weight shift compared to its V8 contemporaries. It's more controlled, more balanced. My choices in this car are more deliberate. I could drive this all day. You might have been able to spot, if you look close enough, that we have gone for a slightly more flamboyant arrangement. But we all know, one does not simply wear the suit. You must also walk the walk. Listen, yes, I know, white wall tires severely date the car's appearance. But, in fact, they do offer superior grip from the stock shoes the Chevy was wearing initially. And with our extra bump and oomph to 386 brake horsepower, superior suspension, and downforce lips, our Nova is absolute walking the walk. In fact, I dare say it's broken out into a full sprint. With an old car like this, it is all too tempting to fit a new engine with 1,000,000 horsepower under the hood, put your foot down, and hope nothing explodes. But for grip racing, we need to be more considerate. The edge in this case is given to handling and acceleration. These were the focuses of the Nova. And as you can see, we have indeed been rewarded. 1 minute, 10.73 seconds. But how does it stack on the leaderboard? That was to be expected, but that doesn't bother me. What is important is that we were 6 seconds faster than the stock car. An incredible time save achieved largely from a few bolt-on parts. As all the great 70s car movies ended with one last harrowing chase, so too does today's program. It's time for one last dance. Thank you for watching.